So good night. Tonight's class, we will need a bolster, and if you don't have a rolled up bolster, you can take a thick towel and roll it up into me in this bolster shape. You'll need a piece of material like I'm using a towel tonight, and you will need a strap. So we're going to start in a seated position. I'm actually going to take this back. And if you're coming to sit on the floor, you don't have to sit on the floor for this part. If you want to sit in a chair, you can stand up, whatever your body feels most comfortable in tonight. So I'm going to sit, and if you are going to sit with me on the floor, please get something to sit on. You can stack pillows. I have this bolster. You can use that rolled up towel that I was talking about, or blanket, sorry. And you may feel like the higher you elevate it, the more comfortable it is for you, okay? So you may, 2 pillows may not be enough. You may need 3 or you may need 4. So we're gonna start seated, and I'm crossing my legs. There's many ways you can sit. You can sit cross-legged. If you feel you're in cross-legged and you're hunched over, build yourself up. So put more stuff underneath you so that you can feel, even having the knees kind of lower than the hips is a nice indication where it may be a little bit more comfortable for you. There's other ways to sit, of course. I'm just going over this because I know there's somebody new. I'm taking my bolster and I'm just gonna sit like this. That, however, may be a little bit tense on the ankles. So I think you're getting the drift. Like, you need to just be comfortable seated, and I don't really care how you're seated as long as it's comfortable and you're able to get a sense that if you are sitting on your bum, that you're able to sit on your sits bones, so on your 2 sit bones, we call them, and be able to sit quite straight, I would say, without arching the ribs. So you don't want to compress your back. You want to keep the ribs nice and flat down onto your body so you can feel your ribs here. And this is for everybody now, because it's going to be really important in this class, is that we're going to want to really be mindful of keeping the ribs down. So what I mean is, a lot of times, and even when we're sitting and I say, oh, sit straight, whatever that's for you, a lot of us will just go like this, okay? And we'll arch up like this to sit straight. So for tonight, for almost all my classes, I want you to remember to keep those ribs down. So I'm not compressing the butt. The ribs are down. I'm sitting nice and straight. The help of being on this bolster is way more comfortable than if I wasn't. I have my legs crossed. If you just automatically cross your legs, I want you to uncross your legs and cross them in the opposite direction, okay? In the opposite way than what you would normally do it. So sitting on the sit bones here. So finding the sit bones, finding the pelvis, okay? Finding, what I mean is the hip bones. Find your hip bones. And try sitting up nice and straight. And when I say that, just keeping the ribs down, keeping your face and your neck and your shoulders nice and relaxed. So I don't want you to force yourself into what you think is a straight position. Just getting that sense that you're sitting on your sit bones, that you're not hyperextending, so that not, going into this rib thrust. You keep the ribs down. You may want to tuck the chin a little bit, but feel like the neck is nice and long in the back. And then I want you to just relax your arms wherever you want. So they can come down to your sides. They can come onto your laps, palms down, palms facing up to the ceiling, okay? So I'm taking some nice relaxing breaths. So just noticing how you feel here. If right away you're getting burning in your back, or this is not comfortable, maybe you want to get up and sit in a chair. So just an option. You're going to get a sense here right now if this is going to be comfortable for you to go through a few poses. If not, no worries. Sit on a chair, or you can just stand up. So we'll start though. If you are standing, well, I'm not going to go into that because I'll be here for another 5 minutes. But yeah, if you're standing, you want the weight of your pelvis over your heels. You don't want to be swaying forward. You basically want to be able to kind of see your toes. And we're just going to start with some breaths and just some awareness of our bodies, okay? And then I'm going to get into touching the ribs and that like we just started. Okay, so sorry about all that talking, but there is somebody new here, so I needed to get all that in. So we're going to close our eyes And we're going to notice our breath. And that just means you can breathe through your nose and let it out through the mouth the first couple of times. And just noticing when you do that, what happens in your belly. Are you holding tension when you breathe in? Are you breathing from the chest, not really feeling a full breath from the belly? So when we breathe in, the belly should just let loose and expand. The belly kind of comes out. And then when you breathe in, naturally, the belly starts to come in a little bit more towards the spine. So come moving in. You breathe out, or inhale, sorry, and the belly comes out and expands, and then you exhale. So there's no forcing, but just being aware of what your body does. Some people breathe very shallow, like from their chest, and they're always clenching their belly, always. So just being aware of that, and even a nice place to begin is just letting the belly relax while you're trying to take some breaths. So let's just take a couple big breaths through the nose and let them out through the mouth, letting the belly like relax and fill. And exhale through the mouth. And with the next breath, see if you can even like think about moving, and the whole rib cage and everything moves out the front, moves out to the sides. So instead of having a breath where you're like, where some people take a big breath and they extend up, I want you to keep your ribs nice and flush down, keep them, and breathe and almost feel like there's more of an expansion this way, okay, rather than rising up. So just work with your own breath. Try to come down now to just a normal breath, whatever that is for you, but still keeping your awareness, or just being mindful of your breath and your belly and that movement, and just being able to relax while we're doing this. And I know some of us may be focusing, but as we do this, I want you to relax your eyes and relax your face, relax your jaw, and just continue breathing like normal. Don't be trying to stiffen up to sit straight. Relax your shoulders. And even relax all around the belly. Just let the belly hang out. Try to release all of the muscles around your core, okay? And around your lower back, all around your pelvis. So just coming to this place of quietness and just noticing your body. And even if there is some discomfort there, just noticing it. You don't have to judge it, just starting to become aware of what it is, where your body is comfortable and where your body is not, okay? Okay, so we're going to start with just a little bit of massaging around the jaw, okay? So I just want you to take the palms of your hands and to start at your cheekbones, and you're going to come down, and as you come down, you're pressing into those nice muscles around the jaw, and I want you to do an underbite with your teeth, and then as you come down, you're going to open the mouth, and then just come under the chin, okay? So we're just going to massage around the jaw. I'm just moving down the muscle, and an underbite, and jutting the jaw and just coming under. And then I'm just going to take my fingertips and just give all of that area a nice massage. And again, I'm getting up around the temples. We'll just do a few circles there. And I'm going to make my way with my fingers all the way down in front of the ears here. You can go in little circular motions if you want. Now I'm kind of going behind the ear and then just massaging down the neck. You'll feel those nice big muscles, and perhaps even like into the traps, so into your muscles there above your shoulders. And giving them a massage. Moving up the neck. So whatever feels good for you right now. Just kind of really trying to release a little bit of tension here. How does that feel? Did it help just calm the nervous system? Taking some more breaths in. And now I just want you to tuck your chin down. And we're just going to do some small circles. So you're just going to come around and very gentle. I don't want you coming to that place where you hit that boundary. I want you to be just very small, tiny circles for now, okay? And so when you're doing these circles, I don't want you to compress your neck all the way back when your nose comes up towards the ceiling. I just want you to envision like there's numbers or a clock here, and your nose is just going around the base of that clock, okay? And we'll go around in the other direction. And you can do one more circle. And bring your head forward. And now I want you to take your right arm and you can straighten it out and then just place the hand on your shoulder here. And then as you do that, I want you to extend the other arm, and it can be palm facing up towards the ceiling. And what I'm going to get you to do, well, first of all, what we'll do is we'll just bring this arm now to the shoulder and extend the other one. So we're just going to do that a couple times. So now that you have the one arm extended, so I have my right arm extended, and I'm going to now turn my head a little bit, although just turning it so that it's about around my pocket, and I'm going to bring the ear down towards the shoulder, okay? So even if you want to begin, and now I'm going to extend the other arm and bring the ear towards this shoulder. So see, sorry, this is probably the first time I taught this one. So bring the ear down towards the shoulder first, and then kind of look like you're going to look in that pocket. You're looking down towards that pocket. So just notice what your head is like in this position. And now I want you to go to the other side. So just bending the other arm and turning the head away in that same position, okay? So we're just going back and forth. Now don't clench up anywhere. Don't clench up around the belly or the shoulders. So this might be a little awkward for you to get this at first, even if you're just bringing the head down towards without that kind of little twist there, that's fine, okay? And make sure there's no pain. So we're just going back and forth a couple times, and we're just gonna do one more. And calm breath. So you're just breathing in. You can move with your breath, like, and exhale to do the other side. And we'll come up and release, and just notice how that feels. And you can circle the shoulders up and back and down a couple times. So I'm just moving the shoulders up, up towards my ears, really moving through the shoulder blades, moving the shoulder blades up, and then squeezing the shoulder blades in the back and moving down, okay? So just a couple circles like that, shoulders up, squeeze the shoulder blades together and down. Inhale and exhale. So through all of this, really trying to continue to move and breathe and ease, okay? There's no stiffness. I don't want any force. It's just a very easy movement, a very easy breath, okay? So you're not trying to get right as far and squeeze as tight as you can. It's just a very nice, I'm rolling the shoulders now in the other direction. Now we're going to go into a little twist. So take a breath. It might be a good idea to switch your legs now in the other direction, or find a new way to sit if you're uncomfortable. We're just going to go into a little twist. So I want you to take your hands onto your ribs here and hold onto your ribs. And when you go for a twist, I want you to keep everything down here just nice and still. So we're really just trying to twist through the thoracic spine, so around where your rib cage is. So I want the rib cage to twist. Take a breath. Exhale, come forward again. Take a breath here. Exhale, twist the other side. Exhale. Come forward, take a breath. Exhale, twist. And while you're here in this twist this time, just really retract that back shoulder back and kind of bring the other, so I'm not using my leg to turn me, I'm just using it as a guide and I'm trying to bring this shoulder blade a bit forward. And release. Have a breath here, very small twists, especially if you're not used to this movement. You may even notice that you may not even be able to do it, or that, how do I do that with the twist, move, my ribs, isolate the movement in my ribs. So just try your best, no worries. So we'll take a breath in here. Exhale, twisting to the other side. And now I'm going to take this back shoulder blade and try to squeeze that shoulder blade back. Not too hard, just gentle, and then this shoulder blade come a little forward. Take a breath here. And then forward. We're going to take the arms now and bring them overhead. So just inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, bring them down. And I want you to notice what happens the next time we bring the arms up, what happens to your ribs, okay? So we're going to bring the arms up. Now, did you just thrust your ribs up? We don't want that, okay? We just want to move the arms without the ribs moving. The ribs are just nice and soft down by my side. Do that one more time now without letting the ribs move, okay? We're just bringing the arms up. Nothing else is moving. And bring the arms down. Now, sometimes when we're trying to focus or we're doing like a new movement, we tend to hold our breath. So I want you to be very aware of your breath and moving with your breath tonight. Nice, easy breaths. We're just going to hold the arms out now. The palms are facing forward. And we're just going to do a few internal and external rotations. So I'm just really trying to initiate the movement from my shoulder bone in the shoulder socket, okay? So, or the arm bone, sorry. The humerus in the shoulder socket. So I'm really trying to get some lovely, just nice mobility in and around the joint there, the shoulder joint. So not using the arms or the wrists or the hands to initiate the movement. You're really trying to get the movement in the shoulders. And now I'm just going to move the arms a little closer together. You don't have to. You may want to stay where you are. And I'm moving them further apart. And I'm staying with a nice, easy breath. We'll just do a couple rolls of the wrists. So I'm just not clenching really hard. Don't clench the fist. I'm making a very light fist and then just bringing, doing some nice circles with the wrists one way and then in the other way. So now we're going to open up our legs. So now you may want to still sit on something, or you may want to come off this bolster or come off your blanket. My bolster is a little bit high for this next thing for me. So I'm just going to come and sit on this towel for now. So I'm going to open my legs, or we're all going to open our legs here and try to have the toes pointed up towards the ceiling. If that's causing too much tension anywhere, you could be experiencing the lower back, hamstrings, whatever, you may want to have a little bend in your knees, okay? As well as, you may want to just, that should be enough, or even bringing yourself up a little bit higher. So we're here and we're going to do some internal and external rotations now with the legs. So the knees can be bent, the knees can be straight, the toes pointed up towards the ceiling. And what we're doing is just like we did in the shoulders, we're just trying to get some rotation in the hips now. So the big leg bone that's sitting in our hips, we're just trying to get nice mobility in the hip joint, right? So the leg in the hip socket. So just moving forward and back. And we're all so anatomically different that if you're finding it hard to sit up in this position, or if there's other things like what's going on, like you're noticing, oh, my legs can open really wide, or not very wide at all, or whatever, our hip sockets are different. So everybody is going to look different, okay? So don't compare yourself to what you see myself doing. You just try to feel it in your body, okay? So internal and external rotation. And then you can move your legs a little closer together. And continue that movement. And continue with a nice, soft, easy breath. And oh, by the way, I should say I'm sitting up pretty straight here, but please relax back into your arms if you need to. Just don't collapse in your shoulders like this. Really push out of the shoulders and lean back. And I'm just opening them a little bit wide. Again, so we're doing all of this mobility work and just some some mobility work before we start with our core stability stuff. So today's class is core stability. So not so much like core strengthening, like we're going to do a bunch of crunches, but doing some stability work for our core. So stability work, meaning like we're going to be doing some nice movements, that require stability in other parts of our body as well. Probably not explaining that right, or very well, sorry. Okay, so we're going to come now, sorry. Yeah, I was going to do some 1990 legs, but I think that, maybe we should get a little bit more movement hits. Sorry, this class is a little, I'm actually feeling this way because we do have somebody new in the class, and I'm always thinking like, if she's never done this before, so I got a bit of a monkey brain going on because I want to ensure that she doesn't hurt herself and the movements are appropriate for something new, okay? So sorry about my kind of going off there a little bit. So we're going to take our legs into a 1990 position. So basically, I'm going to bend both knees. I'm going to bend one knee, like just bringing the heel inwards. And then the other leg, I'm going to bring in to behind me. So there's an angle here that's about 90 degrees and an angle here that's about 90 degrees. And again, you can like lay back here. Now, your legs may not come down to the floor. They may be up to here, and that is fine. What's going to be really difficult if your legs are too close into your body, okay? It's not going to work. So they don't have to be in 90 position. They could be a little more. It needs to be comfortable. And like I said, we don't need to force the leg down where our pelvis is coming off the floor, okay? So I'm sitting on my sit bone still. I'm back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, what I'm calling my back leg. I'm going to open that leg and keep opening it until it kind of drags the other leg with it. Now you're going to move around on your mat. I'm already coming off the towel. I'm just going to remove it. And now again on the other side. So I'm opening that leg and letting the other leg, that leg, drag the second leg open, okay? So take some breaths, take your time to get this, okay? This is a new movement for you. So I'm just kind of open this leg. It's like I'm coming on the heel. I'm getting that external rotation in that hip. And then it's going to drag my other leg over. So it should feel really good. So if there's any pain or discomfort, just stop the movement, okay? And, but it should feel really nice. Should feel really nice in the hips. So we'll just do a couple on each side. And breathing in, moving with the movement. So breathing in through the nose. I can exhale it through the mouth or out through the nose. And I'm just going to do one more. Okay. So we are going to be coming onto our hands and knees. And again, for the person who is new, if you're not ever used to being on your hands and knees, you're going to find this class a little hard on your wrists, just because if you're not used to it. So the first thing I want you to do is to look at the mobility you have in your wrist. So by doing that, I'm just going to take my two hands together, my forearms together like this. I'm just opening up my hands, and I have pretty good mobility there. Some people might be here. So if you're here, you need to keep this angle here on the floor. When we come down on our floor, you want to maintain that angle. So that may mean that you will want to have your towel or a blanket here and put your palms on here so that you're still maintaining this same angle in your wrist. That's one option. Another option, you can come down onto your forearms. Again, you can be on something so that it allows you to have, to be with your bum so far up high. It's nice to have, so you can come down like this onto your forearms. As well, you can come on your fists like so. Okay, so those are some things as we go through this that you may have to just play with. And like, if it's too much for tonight, you may just have to just relax and watch some of it, okay? So what we're gonna do is take your strap or whatever you have for strap, and I want you to take it and put it so that it's like on your, probably just a bit up from your bra strap. So just on your scapula, on your shoulder blades, in the middle of your shoulder blades, okay? So, and what I want you to do then is come down onto your hands and knees, and I'm gonna make the strap really tight. So I'm gonna put it under my hands, and your hands are gonna be underneath your shoulders. And as you get started, I'm gonna give you some time to get situated. So really just wanna make that strap kind of tight on my back. Okay. The knees are underneath the hips, okay? And I forgot to actually, we were going to give our ribs a massage and get that, I want you to get that feeling of keeping your ribs down. So it's really important with this part. We don't want to arch. So see, I can arch, and my I see that arch, my belly's going down towards the floor, and my ribs, this is a rib thrust. I don't want that happening, okay? So keep the ribs in. You have your strap here now. I want you to push your back into the strap. I don't want you to push your back into the strap so you round your back like this. I just want you to have the ribs, so you want the ribs in. And so it's almost like pushing out of your arms, okay? Just push out of your arms and you feel the strap really nice and solid then on your back, okay? So now what I want you to do, just feel that. And what I want you to do now is we're going to bring the left leg back. So you're gonna just slide the toe back and come up on the toe as so, okay? And come back. And the reason why the strap is there is so that you can maintain that stability around the shoulders, okay? So you will notice, you can come back and you will notice that if I went and put my foot out and I lost some mobility in my shoulder or the stability around my spine, the strap will loosen, okay? So like basically if I was doing something and the strap loosens, I know that I came out of position. So I want you to do these leg movements, keeping the back, the strap tight. And so what we're doing is avoiding any movement anywhere else other than the leg. I don't want the pelvis moving either, so I'm putting the leg out and then bringing it back in. Okay, so you're trying not to wobble. Now you may wobble, and that's okay. It's just showing you where there is some maybe weakness or the areas that you could use strengthening in, okay? So if you're doing this and you're wobbling everywhere, no worries, it's education, okay, about your body. So we're just bringing one leg out. Again, very important to use our breath here. Very important to relax all the other places in your body. So what you're feeling here is a nice stable core. And when I say core, I mean everywhere, core stability, the whole spine. And one more. And exhale and come down. So that feeling that we just had with the strap around, so we would have known from the strap releasing if we were compensating anywhere, we were losing that strength of being able to move the legs back and forth like that. So for the next one, you can either keep the strap here. I'm not, just because I'm doing the video, it'll just be kind of distracting. But if you want to keep that there so that you can keep that feeling, you can go ahead and keep using the strap throughout the rest of them, okay? If not, I'm just gonna try to remember how that felt and try to keep in that stance. Now, again, let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And let's just stay here for a moment. Tuck the chin a little bit so that you can keep the neck nice and long. And let's just let the belly release. And take some nice, easy breaths. So loosen around the belly. Keep the ribs in still. Do not arch the back. The ribs are in. And now I want you to, again, we're going to, like we're pushing the mat away. And anybody who, the people who've done this class or have done classes with me before, we want to get the shoulders. That's what it's all about, nice and stable, okay? So again, what we're going to do is we're going to reach one leg out and come back in. So my toes are not leaving the floor. I'm just like pushing the leg out and pushing, bringing the leg back in. And I'm trying to not wobble my weight over more to one side. I'm trying to keep nice and steady. I'm also trying to keep my pelvis where it is. So, and we'll do one more on each side. And now you can come into a child's pose if you want. You can come and sit up and do some wrist circles if you want. Just taking a nice break here, okay? Come back to the breath. So, what I should have said, you could have had something under your knees there. This time, do get something to put under your knees. So whether that's your rolled up blanket, and again, we're coming into this hands under the shoulders, right? Wrists under the shoulders. And now my knees are still under my hips, okay? So we're not like this, we're not way back. My knees are underneath my hips. My knees are hip width distance apart and my hands are underneath my shoulders, so the shoulder width distance apart. Again, I want to press out, just like you had that strap, or if you're using that strap, you're pressing into that strap. And this time, you can either do what we were just doing, or you can lift the leg completely off the floor, okay? So I'm bringing the leg up and I'm moving it in. So I'm sliding the leg out and then I'm lifting. Don't lift too high. You just want to keep it kind of like pelvis height. And then I'm dropping the foot and I'm coming back in. So take a breath. Exhale out and lift. Leg down, inhale. Exhale, other side. Lift. Inhale. Leg down and forward. And one more. Slide out, lift the leg, and point the heel. Bring the leg down, come in, and you can come into a child's pose here, or you can come again. I have this time my toes tucked and I'm sitting on my heels. That may be a bit much for some people, especially if you've never done that before. I'll show you a quick child's pose as well. I'm coming up on my knees here, just taking a rest. Again, if you need to give your wrists a massage or some attention, do that. If it's becoming unbearable on the wrists, you can take one of those other variations that I talked about. Okay. I forget what I was going to do. Okay, so we're coming back onto the hands and knees again. And I'm just going to move my hips from side to side. I was going to show you that child's pose. This class, I don't know if I'm going to keep this recording. I'm all over the place. Anyways, so I'm just moving my hips from side to side. That child's pose, if you need it, the type of child's pose that I like is taking my two knees to each side of the mat, bringing the toes together and sitting my heels back. And then you can take and put two fists on top, one fist on top of the other, and bring your head down. You can, if it's available to you, bring your whole body or your whole, like your forehead, head down to the floor. But if that's not available to you, I like the idea of bringing the floor up to you. So that rolled up blanket, you can put that here, or just even for the head, or you don't have to go all the way down. You can be here with your forearms on the mat, keeping the chin tucked and keeping the ribs in. And just stay here for some breaths. And then you come back up onto your hands and knees. And this time we're going to take your towel and you're going to put it in front of your mat or on the floor. You can still now have your bolster or rolled up blanket underneath your knees. And now what I'm going to get you to do is take your towel so that it's long enough so that your hands can be underneath your shoulders, like shoulder-width distance apart. And I'll just show first. So when we're on hands and knees, we still want the knees underneath the pelvis here, and we want the hands underneath the shoulders, and we want the ribs in. Okay, so remember that. So just like you had the strap, or perhaps you still want to use that strap, you can have your strap there. So you're pushing out of your strap. So the idea is I'm going to move the towel forward and back, but I do not want to move the rest of my body. So I'm not doing this and coming back, okay? The idea is, and you're not going to be able to move your hands that far. You can have your toes tucked or not. I don't have anything under my knees right now. But so what we're doing is I'm going to bring the towel out, and I'm just going to start just a little tiny bit, and then I'm going to bring it in. Okay, and the pelvis may want to help, but try not to have the pelvis move, okay? So we want to keep everything straight, ribs are in, back straight, and now pull in. Okay, so inhale out, and pull in. If you can't do this, that is okay. This is really hard, okay? So don't be hard on yourself. And don't go out too far. So you might be able to go out far, but you may not be able to come back unless you use your hips. Okay? So still working the core here. This is all core stability work. Okay, so pushing out. I don't want anything else to move. It's just my arms moving forward. I'm looking down, neck nice and long. Do not be clenching anywhere else, okay? We don't need to be clenching. Of course, there's going to be kind of clenching that's happening in the core. But as you do this, what I don't want you to do is pull in, like brace yourself in. A bracing should feel like you're pushing out, okay? That's the kind of bracing that we want. We don't want the bracing where you're going and sucking everything in, okay? You want more of a pushing out, like that push out. That's the type of brace that you want to be going on. So you don't want to brace in and then do the movement. You want to do the movement, and when you feel the muscles contracting, make sure it's more of that push out feeling. Okay. So we're coming out, and pull in. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, push out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale out. And maybe just see how far you go where you can't pull in any longer without the help from the pelvis. And maybe one more if you got it in you. So I'm just going to see what my boundary here is here. Oh, yes, it's much harder. Okay, so that's a fun little core stability. So it's not crunches, all right? It's not sit-ups. It's actually a lot better because we're teaching our body here, our core, to be nice and strong while we're doing these other kind of movements, rather than just like, you know, doing the same movement to try to strengthen, you know, our six pack or something. So there. So now you may want to take another rest. So you may want to come down into your child's pose again, or maybe some wrist circles again. You choose your adventure here. You choose if you need a child's pose. You can, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to just bring my heels and my toes together here. So I'm bringing my feet together. I'm tucking my toes, trying to bring my heels together. And now I'm going to walk back and just come and sit on my toes for a little while. So this may be, if this is a bit much, you don't have to sit, you can take some of the weight off. I'm just like giving my feet like a little massage here. So I'm just going to move from side to side and then come back to my breath, because with all that work, you may notice that you probably were tensing somewhere. It's hard sometimes to take those nice, easy breaths. So come back here to center again. Come back to your breath and just notice how you breathe. That's all, just notice. Okay, so we're going to come, we're going to be using the towel again, but this time I may just fold it so that it's more like in a square. I'm still going to use this other towel for one knee. I'm using, so my two knees are going to go on each of these towels, and they're about the same height. So what we're going to do now is come onto our hands and knees just like we were. And again, now you can do this on your forearms, on your fists. You may even want some pillows here to bring you up a little further if you are on your forearms, okay? So I realize this might be a bit much for your wrists tonight if you're new. So again, hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to imagine that strap there, or put the strap there. This knee is under the pelvis here, to my knees, right? If I were to be side on, we're like this. Maybe I'll show it side on first. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. So what you're going to do now is that same. You want to keep everything stable. You want to keep your grits in. And I got my toes tucked. And what I want you to do now is you're going to just bring this leg out and pull it in. So just start slow first. So the same idea. We don't want anything else moving. Just want the leg out, and then you're pulling the leg in with these adductors here, these muscles that pull the leg in. That's where you want your focus. Pull, 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 pull. Now, if you have any low back issues or SI issues, this may not be good for you. This may not feel good. So just be very gentle, okay? So come out and come in. Continue with that. So you're coming out, 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 and coming in. Now, notice that I'm not going out, so this leg is moving like this, okay? Everything else is the same. I'm just moving, opening up that leg, and then closing it again. All the while trying for no movement happening anywhere else. I'm not shifting over to the right. My shoulders are still, or my hands are still underneath my shoulders. So inhale and open the leg, and exhale, close the leg. Inhale, open the leg, and exhale, close the leg. You may want another rest here. You may just want to come and sit on your heels again, and maybe do some more wrist circles or some massaging of the wrists or forearms. Just take a break, come back to your breath. So take a break as long as you want. While we're doing these, you can always take a break anytime you need, okay? You don't have to keep doing as many reps as I do. So let's come down again, hands underneath the shoulders. Pretend you have that strap there, ribs are in. This time we're going to open, but you are going to allow a bit of a shift. So you are coming over. So this leg now is no longer over the knee, okay? Or my pelvis is no longer over the knee. So, and again, bring back, okay? Again, I'm opening. The other leg is coming close. So inhale, the belly comes out. Exhale, the belly comes in towards the spine. Again, the breath. And coming over, the other leg is opening up. So I'm opening up a lot further. So I'm allowing that other leg to move, or the pelvis to move over to the right. And we'll just do one more. And closing up again. Taking a rest, going into your child's pose. Choose your adventure here so that you can come back to your breath and rest. So we're going to move to the other side. So this may not seem like core work, right? Like it's not what you think of as core work, but this is better and it's a little more fun because it's different. Okay, so we're going to go move on to the other side. So again, hands underneath, like you have the strap there, knees underneath the pelvis, and I'm just going to open now the left leg out. And come in. So inhale. Exhale. Pull in. Inhale. And notice, like maybe things are moving. Maybe you're saying, wow, I can't do this without a lot of wiggling and wobbling. And that is completely fine. I almost would expect for that to happen. And it's just noticing it. It's just like, maybe you're noticing when it happens. So it's like, oh, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Oh, there, that's the point where I lose it. And if that's the point where you lose it, don't go any further. So just go to where you feel like you can breathe easy, that it's not super strenuous, and where you're not compensating anywhere else. So what I mean by compensating is that if you do start to move, that's just your body compensating to hold you in that position, right? That's fine. That's what's meant to happen. Okay. So you can take a break or you can move right into the other one. So we're pushing the leg out and now we're letting that other leg kind of open, and now we're bringing them together. So when I'm bringing them together now, I'm really pulling in with both legs. So I'm pulling in. The other leg is not moving. I don't mean that like, well, my pelvis is moving over, but I'm not moving the blanket. I'm just pulling, but I still have that sense that I'm pulling the two legs together. So we'll do one or two more. Nice work. Okay, let's come back. We don't have to be on our hands and knees anymore. The class is almost over. So that was probably pretty strenuous on your wrists. If this was your first class. And it was a bit of a different class. It was some new stuff that I learned in my new training. So a little bit different. But now we are ready to relax. So just pat yourself on the back for that. It was a lot of new movements, even kind of like tricky to get your brain around it sometimes. So let's relax. So come down onto your back. So you're probably going to want a pillow or something underneath your head. There's different ways to come down. I like coming down safely. I want you all to come down safely. And what I like to do is I keep my legs bent, and then I kind of just come down onto a forearm, and then like come up a little bit on my elbows as I keep the chin kind of tucked and come down to lay on my back. So as you're laying here now on your back, I want you to keep like a really, keep the ribs in. So again, I don't want you arching the lower back right up, or where the ribs are up and you're compressing the back. Try to press the back of your ribs down into the mat. And you may notice that your back completely flattened out to the floor. If you can, try to maintain or try to get that neutral arch in your lower back. Okay, so sometimes you can find that by finding your two hip bones and finding your pubic bone, and putting them on the kind of the same plane. Okay. Again, a lot of this is in my introduction video. You may want to go there before the next class if you plan to come back and just and watch that one. Okay. So having the arms open to the sides with palms facing up. And just coming to your breath. And at this point, just noticing how you feel. And not just your body, but even the mind, the words you're saying to yourself. So really letting the belly release here and relax. Coming back to the breath. And notice the breath coming in and out of the body. And notice how that feels around the chest and the belly, what's happening with each breath. And I invite you now to just, you can straighten out the legs if you want, or keep the legs as they are. And I want you to just get a sense of all the muscles releasing and letting go. So we'll begin with the top of the head, so your scalp. And try to release the scalp, whatever that means for you. It may mean adding a little space between the eyebrows. Relaxing around the temples. Creating a little space between the back teeth, allowing the jaw to relax. Removing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Allowing your whole head to feel heavy and relaxed. And let that feeling move down your neck, front of your throat, into your chest, into your shoulders. Allowing all the muscles to let go, and letting the fingers naturally curl towards the palms. Allowing the arms to just release. And so you can almost feel them separate from your body. And now again, letting the neck and the throat relax. Chest is now relaxed. Shoulders open and relaxed. Arms relaxed. Now letting the spine relax. And breathe in. Breathe out and let it relax a little more. Let the belly move with each breath, freely and with ease. And feeling the weight of the pelvis sink into the floor, heavy. All the muscles, imagine all the muscles around the hips, big muscles and the little musculature. All relaxing and letting go around the hips. And all of the muscles around the buttocks and inner thighs. Bring your attention there and see if you can let those muscles release. Moving down the legs and your calves and your shins. And your heels, your feet, bottoms of your feet, your ankles, your toes. Release. Coming to your breath, and with every exhale, you're letting go a little more, and a little more, including your thoughts. And be the observer of your thoughts rather than engaging in your thoughts. Let them know that you recognize they're there and that you'll come back to them later. A gentle smile on your face, inviting a feeling of contentment, a feeling of ease, of relaxation. A feeling of oneness, of connection to your body. And I invite you to stay here, continuing with your easy breaths, letting yourself sink deeper into the earth. I'll leave you with asking you to invite that feeling of gratefulness for participating in the class, and giving your body this movement, attention, and awareness. I wish you a very beautiful evening and weekend. And I thank you all